If you can recall all the way back at school, some of you may even still be at school, there is a point when you suddenly understand averages and then the teacher says, actually, there are 3 different ways of working out the average. Those 3 different averages were the median, mean, and the mode. Well, they weren't the median, the mean, and the mode. They still are the median, the mean, and the mode. We have the facility within Excel to work out each of these 3 averages. If we take the averages file and the average sheet, we have a set of numbers here, A1 to D10. And we're effectively going to work out the mode, the median, and the mean. So the 3 M's. Now the mode is the most frequently occurring number in a given range. The function is equals mode. Open brackets and tell it what range to look at. Return, and I get told that the mode of this range here is 56. So the most frequently occurring number is 56. Now when you just look at a range, that can be quite hard to spot, but we can cheat and use our mode sheet here, where what I've done is I've listed all the numbers in that range in numerical order. So there are 40 numbers, and then I've added a count if that we've seen already, to count how many times the number on the left occurs in the whole of the range. We can see 1 appears once, 2 is 2, 32 is 4 times, and the one that it reckons is our mode is 56, occurs also 4 times. Now, although 32 is 4 times and 56 is 4 times, Excel has plumbed for the higher of the numbers. Now, it hasn't done this based on any logical criteria that you might think of. Oh, it's chosen 56 because it's higher than 32. It's chosen 56 because that's the first of the frequently occurring numbers that it comes across in the range. If we look at our range, we can see that 56 occurs first before 32, therefore it chooses 56 as the mode. If we were to then change these 2 numbers round, for example, so let's put 32 in there and then 56 in here, you see that 32 then becomes the mode because that's the most frequently occurring number that it comes across first. So where there are duplicate modes, which is what we effectively have here, you have to be a little bit careful about the one that it returns to you. But in essence, the function is looking for the most frequently occurring number in a given range. And the median, another average function, the function in Excel is median, so equals median, takes a range of numbers and returns us the middlemost value. So in this case, we're given 43 as the median. Now, looking at our numbers, that again will be hard to spot, but if we take our numbers and place them in a new sheet here, called median, and put them in order, so they're now in numerical order, there are 40 of them, so I need to be looking at 20 and 21 as the middle values, and 43 is in 20 position and in 21st position, so that's the value that gets returned as my median. So the number in the middle, not looking at the actual values, but physically counting the numbers. So if there were 11, it would be the number at position number 6, assuming that they were then in ascending order. So it's the middlemost number out of the numbers that you're given, regardless of any weighting. The highest number, as we have here, for example, is 978, and the lowest is 1. That has no bearing on the median. It's physically looking at the number of numbers and finding the middle number in your range. Now the mean, the one that we probably commonly most know as average, is actually called average in Excel. So it's equals average, open brackets, our range of numbers. Return. I'm told that our average is 77.875. Now the mean or average is actually the sum of the numbers divided by how many numbers there are in the range. So I can always check that as well. So we can do a sum to get me a grand total, and we can do a count to tell me how many numbers there are in the range, and then we can divide one by the other. So it's the grand total divided by the count, 77.875. Exactly the same answer is retrieved from using these 3 functions as it is from the one average function. So it's adding them all up and dividing by however many there are. So those are your 3 average functions. Mode, most frequently occurring. Median, the number that sits at the physical center of your list of numbers. So it takes no regard of a lot of big numbers or a lot of small numbers. It takes how many numbers there are, puts them in numerical order, and takes the middle number of the whole range. The mean, however, does have a bearing on some large numbers or lots of little numbers, because it adds up however many numbers there are in the whole range and divides by the number of numbers in that range. So we have mode, median, and mean, our little average family.